What's up, babies? The Fire Boy, welcome to my channel. Oh my goodness, it's time to play with baby animals, and some not as baby animals, but you know, baby animals. That's where it's at. Come on now, come on now. We all know that's exactly what we're here for. That's what I'm here for. I don't know. We're playing Planet Zoo. We're gonna do it. We're gonna play some Planet Zoo. I'm going to get everything else finish getting everything else all set up here. We may need to reset the camera when we load the game. Sometimes games will make my camera spaz out just a little bit. Frame rate will drop, and then it won't, instead of like catching up, it'll just like stay behind, and there'll be a weird delay, and it doesn't really make any sense. But you know, it's all part of the process. Builds character or something like that. So, all right, let's get ourselves going. I'm gonna get the game here. Well, you know what? Forget it. We'll experiment with it together. Let's get our live scene going here. We are great. And then let's go ahead and get Planet Zoo going. Let's see what happens with our camera. We'll see if we get any delays or anything. There we go. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, I'll probably need to kill the music though, because the game has its own music. Look at him. Oh, he's so proud of himself. Every time he's so proud of himself. Look at him go. Can't handle this game, man. Can't handle it. Okay, yeah, it looks like the camera's going just a little slow, but it doesn't look like it's lagging behind. It just looks like it's glitchy. Let's go ahead and just go back to our Animal Land. It's right, we're working on Animal Land. That's what I named it. Super creative going on up here. So dumb. All right, so we had started. So okay, it's a sandbox mode, so we can kind of do whatever we want at whatever pace we want. And so I'm just kind of trying to just like bit by bit slowly build up the perfect zoo, and then it's just going to explode into being a live functioning zoo. So let's get ourselves our bird's eye view here, because my super amazing awesome idea is that we're going to do it based on like continent. So we've got, like if we go to our habitats, right, and we can filter it by by theme. Here is the way they did it. And if we do, we're doing largely by like continent, right? Because we've got Africa. Wait, hold on. That's a poor way to look at it. There's okay, you know what I mean. There's like different biomes. There's like the different yeah, continents and like the regions and stuff, and that's how we're gonna do it. I think nature has it actually broken up pretty well there. By continent. Yeah, there we go. So we're gonna do like each section is gonna be a continent, right? So like right here we're working on our North American continent, right? And then like we're gonna do like, I don't know, Africa. It makes sense. We'll do Africa with like the desert one, so we can do that over there. And then I was going to do right up here the South Central America, so we can have a bunch of like really cool tiered, like, because we're gonna use the mountain, right? We're gonna use those different layers as like ways to do real cool like monkey exhibits, so that they can like climb up and down. So we'll do like a lot of really cool Central American stuff there, and then like whatever the most boring one is, we'll do that one for Europe. And then I'm sorry, that was rude. But yeah, we'll like have one that's Europe, one that's Asia, and then right here is our North American one. Oh, and then here we can do like Oceania or something, like maybe with like Oceania we can like put in more water units or something along those lines. But that's how we're gonna basically do this. That's how I'm gonna just like structure and organize my zoo. So we're working on the North American one, right? So we've got it figured out. We did already over here. We've got just our little keeper village, right? So the keeper village is just hidden, tucked away over there, right? Because the guests don't like looking at all of the keepers and the stuff they do. The guests don't like it, not fans of it, which is a little, needy of them. But hey, it's whatever keeps them happy. Whatever keeps them happy is what they get to enjoy. So we got that figured out. We got it mapped out, right? Because like based on, we know how many species are going to be in there, right? So we know we've got 4 exhibit species, or like 4 habitat based species that need like the big land. So we've got 4 habitats all planned out, and then there were 4 of the like exhibit species that kind of go in these little exhibits there. So we're going to do that, and this is going to be like a little exhibit walk. We'll make it like a really forested area, so it's like you can walk through the forest and then see the little critters and stuff like that. So we got that, and then we've got the little food village here, right? This is our food village, where people get to see, or where people can go and like they can get their food and stuff. We had just finished putting in all of the food and souvenir stands. Like there's going to be one of these and a keeper village in each like continent, right? So it's like it's almost organized. It won't necessarily function that way within the game, but the concept is that there would be like one keeper village, and they would handle, like those keepers would handle that biome or whatever, and like there's a food court there, so there's plenty of food opportunities that people can just whatever atmosphere they like the best, right? So it's like it's a whole thematic experience, right? Because we're gonna decorate, with like whatever trees and plant life exist in that biome naturally in each of these areas. We're just gonna plan it up, so it's all just gonna be this big natural walking experience where you get to see animals, and it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be my dreams. It's gonna be my dream zoo that I wish was real. What it's gonna be. It's gonna be so good. No idea how good it's gonna be. Well, now I guess you do have an idea because I just explained it. So there we go. So I got to think about. So one of the things that's gonna be kind of tricky, because I'm taking it from this whole like, explosion of suddenly having everything done. I kind of need to organize everything and then get the animals all figured out. I think what's hard is that I can't just like label and predetermine what this is going to be. Like I can't write down this will be for this animal and stuff like that. Like I have to sort of like do that as the last thing. So kind of what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to just like design and build the zoo around each of these things, right? Around each of these exhibits. And then once the zoo is up and running, then like kind of just do one explosion of like, okay, the zoo's running. We've hired all of our staff and everything. And then like just let that run for a couple minutes where we've got all of our staff. And then we'll pause again, so then we can design each of the habitats and the exhibits and everything. Is how I think I'm going to handle that. So now it's just a matter of like taking our time to go through and sort of plop down trees and just make everything look pretty. And like what I want to do is I want to try and strategically place things, so that way we can have plenty of trees and views and everything, to make things pretty, but then make sure that, the animals can easily be seen from the pathways, right? So there won't be any trees going along here. That'll just be open. and we'll have that be like the open exhibit, right? That's where people can walk around and see the animals and everything like that. But then we've got the walk around here that'll maybe like put little windows so people can see like little bits of it, but that's how we'll make sure that the animals have privacy and stuff. So like we'll kind of plan all of that out as we're going, and we're just gonna kind of go bit by bit. So we're gonna go ahead and filter. This is the North American place. We're gonna filter all of our like environment stuff like that, because we're gonna plop trees and bushes and stuff like that down. Like cypress trees would be beautiful to like kind of have around in these areas, right? So let's maybe put a couple cypress right here, kind of fill that area in. That looks nice. I'm thinking right around here would be a good place to put like a nice big old tree. Can we do more filters than just one? Can I do foliage type? Yeah, we can do multiple, yeah, because that's what I really want to focus on is trees. I mean, we might end up doing some bushes and stuff like that, but I feel like that will actually kind of be based on what the rest of the exhibit ends up looking, because we might do like little bushes in front of areas where we don't have windows or like these cypress things, but I'll need to know where the windows are. Right now we'll work on some of the more removed parts. So yeah, let's do this here. Yeah, we can get some nice big trees with this. Tree, kind of pretty. That would be a really good one to put like by the entrance, right? When we're working on like these areas, I kind of like, I don't know, like it's got so many of the what are those bad boys? Not sycamore. Sycamores are nice trees, but oh, we could do some nice big evergreens. Those would look nice. Elms would be nice. Big elms. Ooh, I like the look of the elm right there. I like the look of an elm, like right there. Just a nice big one. The trick is gonna be to like not get myself too stuck in the weeds of trying to be like super detailed about how all of this stuff gets placed and everything, but like I really want to enjoy doing everything. You know what I mean? Like I really want to make this just such a beautiful thing. Look at just the random, like a singular branch. Like we can get that detail. That's the type of stuff where it's more like rather than trying to fill in a setting, it's like you need something specific, and so you find that and it'll get the job done. White birches aren't bad. You do some white birch. I feel like white birches would serve really well over in this area. Wimbas. No, I like the white birches. That like feels very wooded and foresty. I feel like, you know, scattering a bunch of these guys around here, right, to like really fill this area in and make it feel like a forest. I know I want this area to be very thick. I want it to really feel like a forest walk. Like you're walking through the woods. You're going along that path. Like that's the sole function of that path there. You know what I should do? Hold on, let me get my path tool going here. I should connect all these up how I want them to be connected. Because like this is our main highway drag right here, right? So we don't need to worry so much about pathways going to and from that. But from here, like this part, and you know, we also need to worry about that one feeling like a forest, because this is the forest walk. It's like just a little removed. We're just kind of trying to create the illusion of it. But I should put down the paths so that way I can really work exactly around them. So let's do this. Hey, Beanie Bean, how's it going? Good to see you here. Let's see. I want this to be a little bit narrower. Try our 4. Yeah, I think 4 will look good. Connect that one up there. Get this one connected. Do that. I actually kind of like that. I like it just a little bit curved. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I hope you are doing well as well. That right there, there, and there. There we go. Okay, so there's a little forest walk area. Yeah. Oh, it's gonna look so cool when it's done. All right. Go back to our. Where'd our little guys go? Douglas fir would actually look kind of good intermingled there. But I want to get back to where did they go? Oh man, my contacts are getting dry. I've been staring at the screen. There we go. There's our white birch friends there. Yes, perfect. We'll do this and then we'll intersperse some of the smaller ones. I might even need to thin that area out. I might have gone a little overboard with it. It's like, I mean, you know, sandbox mode. I ain't got to worry about how much money I'm spending or anything like that. Do this. When did I start playing? This is like, I've been interested in this game for a long time, but I never got around to it. And I first started playing it like a couple weeks ago. And so I'm just now learning of like how obsession worthy this game is. Having so much fun with it. And so I'm in sandbox mode, just designing my dream zoo. So it's like, it's very beginnings of this now. Like I had some fun playing around some of the scenarios, but now I'm just designing my dream zoo. And so we're going to have like these big dark things. That's like the main drag highways, and they break off each continent of area that we're going to have. So right now we're working on the North America continent area. And so we're just going to make that one look beautiful. And then we'll make all the other areas look beautiful. And then we'll like unpause, get ourselves a whole mess of zookeepers, then pause again, and then we'll get all of like the exhibits and stuff going, so that way we can get all the animals in there. But like you got to kind of like do it in steps, the way that things work, and how it's like you need to have this, even in sandbox mode, you need to have like all of the zookeepers and everything in order to be able to like properly do stuff. So nice. Yeah. No, thank you. I'm having so much fun with it. This game is like sweet and precious and fun. So yeah, let's put some other white birches interspersed around here. Right, because we'll just have it be a white birch forest here, and that'll look fine. That'll look all kinds of fine and dandy. Just kind of mix some of these guys in here, just make it real thick. Because yeah, like the idea is that this is like a forest walk, and you can go see some of these critters that are in these little exhibits here, and it'll be a fun little. It's like, it's one of those things, like I'm just imagining, like functionally speaking, it doesn't actually do much in the scope of the game, but in my brain space, in my brain head, did I just accidentally say, oh wow, look at that, that's something we've never seen before. Oh boy, no, you come here. Let's just. But yeah, like in my head, what my imagination is telling me is that like this whole, it won't just be a zoo. It's like meant to be like a whole like natural world exploration adventure, right? And so it's like each one is like a specific continent that people will walk through, and it's like all the scenery is designed to look exactly like that continent, or the different types of places you'll find in there, and the buildings are designed to match it, and all of those animals are there. And then you move on to the next one, and suddenly like the scenery changes. And so it's like for this, you know, it's going through the white birch forest, and so I imagine there'd be like educational plaques about these types of trees and all that kind of stuff. Like it's a whole educational experience, and it just like, it's way more thought than this game requires. But I don't do things. I don't do hobbies unless I'm also making the hobby a chore. That's how I operate. Yeah, so different trees, like, that's a good point. And so I might intersperse maybe some other things around here. And so, but my idea is like, this area is going to be like a white birch forest or something like that. But then all of these other areas will be other different North American stuff. And so like the more natural areas that aren't like meant to be specific exhibits or something like that. I don't know. And the other thing too is I will probably change this 8 million times until I am satisfied with it. Because yeah, we could do some other trees. It's actually a good point now that I'm thinking about it. Like I'm gonna take your suggestion here. I'll go ahead and bloop, bloop, and intersperse them there. Bloop, bloop. Just make it nice and thick foresty area. Boop. I kind of wish it had a tool that it would like randomly, like you could just set it to like a certain filters and you could just do like a scatter tool or something like that. And it would just like randomly intersperse like various things within that. So like I have the trees, like the North American trees or something, and like maybe I could even make a custom set and then just do like a scatter where it's like you fill up an area and it'll just like randomly scatter things in the place. Like that'd be really cool. So that way it could like actually be random, because the human brain is actually very bad at randomly dispersing things. Like we don't end up being random about how we do stuff. Even when we think we're being random, it's not random. It never is random. Our brains are too keyed into patterns. We like patterns and repetition. We can't handle inventing random stuff. Oh yeah, we'll just drop all these in. But like be nice and wooded and foresty and everything, and it'll be nice and pretty. And then there'll be like other areas around that'll be more plains and stuff like that. Actually, you move it wherever you want. Oh, okay, good to know. Good to know. Good to. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. If I need to get like super specific about a placement, right now I'm just kind of going for like the oof. That's a little big. That's a little big. We'll put those, but those are going to be like centerpiece trees that go in certain areas. Oh yeah, we can put like some little guys down around in there too. These guys are really good to go against, like go along the pathways or something. Pew and pew. Pew. Like the sound effects. What everyone's here for is the sound. We all know it. We all know it. Don't pretend. All right, drop that. And drop these guys. Pew. Pew pew. Ba-doo. Pew pew. There we go. All right. Okay, that looks like a pretty good. Whoa, camera freaking out there. That looks like a really good forest. I really like it. Like when we're down here, walking through the forested path. Yeah, that's like exactly the kind of shaded atmosphere I was looking for here. Whoopsie. Oops. Only clicked off the game for a minute there. Yeah, I like this. Because see, then it's like, oh, look at that. Oh, there's a creature there. And we can go back to the main highway. Or we can keep going through our little forested path. Come on, little Jimmy. Let's keep walking through the forest. Let's go on going through this. I've done hardly any of the career mode. I got really excited and I've decided to just do my own thing. Let's hear this guy. This guy needs more shading. This is a little too bright. What I want here. Let's find giant red seed. Oh wow, they're not joking. Let's just grab maybe like a little Douglas fir or something here. Let's see, where can I place this guy? That guy right there, maybe. Little guy right there. There. Now I gotta scatter even more of them all around. Put one right back there, just to make it so it's like there's a little bit of a screen, so it's not like it's just like, oh yeah, and there's the property fence, great. More of these like in there just to fill in some of these gaps. All right, there it goes. Man, I could spend hours just like designing this one forest. I love getting into like these little details. I love doing it. So much fun. This game is just doing so many awesome things for me and my brain space. It's so much fun. But see, now that we're like getting out further from here, like this is where I'd almost want to start doing getting some of these, like, where is it? The giant, yeah, all these like giant guys that are just like out back here, and have them where they're not really in the way of things, just kind of have them be like their own centerpieces. Oops. That guy like right there. And then, but then see, it has to stop there because this right here, right? This is where we go into a new continent, a new biome. So we got to make sure we're being attentive to all the different trees and stuff. So actually, you know what I should do is that we can intersperse these guys. We got some of these giant red cedars and stuff going here. Add a couple of those guys there, but we should actually have all of these things going in there so it looks a bit more of a natural adjustment rather than it all just like randomly changing out of nowhere. We can like extend like that. That's perfect. And the elm tree, yeah, elms be good. Yeah, just like get those bigger trees where they're not going to be as up in the way. Cypress always feel a little too like a little too manicured to just like be in the wild. Like I know they can certainly exist in the wild, but they just like trying to create like a forest setting. Much prefer to go with things that look a little less trimmed. Like see, there we go. So we got just like this naturally large copse of trees, and then whatever we end up putting over here, I haven't really decided what they're all going to be. Then we just like switch it over into some other types of trees and stuff. But yeah, there we go. There we go. So now we got all of these guys. That area looks good. I like the way that area goes. I'm thinking so around here, I have to. So this will be doing the actual habitats. Like this is going to be the last part of it. Is kind of what I want to do, because what I want to do is get everything in order, get all the employees that we'll need for everything once we finish designing all those areas, you know, get it all decorated, and then the last part will be doing these. And so I'll probably be doing like little shrubberies and stuff like that around these to make them, you know, nice and gussied up. But that'll be saved for last because I need to decide which animals go in which exhibits and all that kind of stuff. So it's gonna be really fun. I love this like little plateau here. And how, because like I took the time to make these pathways, and I love the concept of being able to look from above down on whatever animals end up in these ones. You know, like up here, you can see down into there. I love that idea. I think that idea is so cool. And if there's a way that I can sort of structure this to look like an overlook, you know, that would be super cool. Super, super cool. Should probably put a railing there. Can you imagine if the path was actually like this in a real place? It's like, yeah, no, it's fine. We don't need a railing. It's fine. Children won't roll off down into the grizzly bear pit. I'm sure it'll be fine. Who cares? And besides, it's a kid. We know how to make more. Like, it's kids. Who cares? All right, I want to grab a few more of these biggie boys here. Bigger the better. No, not festive. Rainbow eucalyptus. Yeah, we could do some rainbow eucalyptus and stuff like that. I feel like these guys would look really nice around here in this village, and like kind of bring them over here. Favorite animal. That's a tough one. So the first one that I looked at was a grizzly bear, or like one of the brown bears or grizzly bears or whatever it was. And like when I first started playing this game, I did not expect it to be as detailed as it was. I did not expect the graphics to be at this level. I was expecting like Zoo Tycoon little sprites that are just like 5 polygons on rectangles that kind of like around, right? Like that's what I was expecting. So then like I loaded up the game, I was like, oh wow, look at that, the buildings are pretty detailed and stuff. That's kind of cool. And then it was like, hey, go check out the grizzly bears, and I did that, and it was so detailed and the hair looked amazing. So like it's like bears aren't necessarily, like, I love bears. I think bears are awesome. They're not necessarily my favorite animals, period. But I feel like it's going to be hard for any memory of playing this game to surpass, like, the amazement and wonder I felt when I first saw that. And I was like, oh, this game is so pretty. And like, the obsession, the level of obsession that was brought at that point in time. So it's probably the bears. Probably. I just had so much fun watching them. Oh, it was good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna clear out this. I want to look at some rocks, and I kind of want to put some rock outcroppings and stuff along, like around in here, because I feel like those are gonna be kind of pretty and scenic. I do need to actually, no, I'm gonna work some more on this. We need to do some more stuff here. We got to get some pathways and stuff going. I feel like doing like the easiest way to do all of this is to like get sections done, like these portions done here, because then everything else you just kind of fill in around it, right? And then because like this is a big chunk of space filled out once we can kind of get this, because I'm thinking I'm going to try and flatten out this land and create like a little picnic area in some way, shape, or form. I don't know how I'm going to do that yet, because this game is weird with pathways and it's hard to make like a paved area. But like I kind of want to do a picnic area so we can utilize like rocks and gardening to kind of have like a more open air picnic area over here. And same with like this stuff. So it's like I kind of am envisioning putting some of these bigger trees back behind the shops just as a scenery type of thing. But then getting like a lot of benches and stuff that go around here. We'll get some ATMs and stuff like that for the practicality of it. But then like we got our hill that goes up to one of the exhibits. But this area, I kind of want to carve out this hill. I kind of want to carve out this hill a little bit and turn those into little picnic seating areas. I think would be really cool. So going to do that. Let's start off. I want to figure out exactly how I want to make these areas look. And so like I say, I think some big trees that go like in between the shops and everything will add to the look and the experience that I'm kind of going for here. Because I almost want this area to feel like there's a picnic area, but I kind of want this to feel like a campground almost. Is what I'm imagining, right? Because I'm thinking North American, like I'm thinking like national park, going to a campground, enjoying a day, on the hiking trails and stuff. That's the atmosphere that I'm going for in this section. So thinking we can have these trees kind of spill over here, and like we can kind of have this area framed in. We can do a little patch of forest before that clears up. Like we can have a patch of forest that goes all the way down and around in here, right? Maybe we can do just like a little nature area and do like a garden of some sort down in there. But then this area will clear up and maybe just have like some basic wildflowers and stuff like that to be like a wildflower hill. So that way it can be like as you're walking over here, you can see down into whatever animals are down in here. Is sort of my idea. And then this area here, I'm just thinking would be nice as just like a wooded area just for like scenery's sake. Because there's not much going on down here. And from walking along this path, you wouldn't see up there. So we can do like maybe going along down here, like a statue garden or something like that. So as you're walking along the path, you can enjoy a statue garden that goes there. Like those are the types of ideas that I'm kind of bouncing around with. But I kind of want to focus and get this area in place. So I want to get more of these like big old giant trees. Go back to doing foliage type trees. Let's go to plants again. Close that out. So I want to find our big giant big boys here. Where's our giant red cedar? It's gonna be right. Do like a giant red cedar there. Do a couple of the giant ones over in here. Right, the giant ones are nice to like rapidly fill up a large area that I want to be forested. They really help fill things out quickly, I've noticed. Do like one right there. We can do a couple of these guys. Maybe back in this area, because this area will be... we can do like a couple of these. Yeah, no problem. Thank you for stopping by at all. I appreciate you. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate the tips, too. Helping my zoo look even prettier. Always take all the help I can make it. Like all the help I can get. Trying to make a gorgeous zoo. I mean, that's a treat for everyone. I'll take every bit of advice I can get for that. No doubt. We already did the rainbow eucalyptus. We got ponderosa pines. We can do kind of some of these guys around here. Yeah, like we can do. Well, those guys. There. There. Well, do I want to put one right there? I guess so, because I kind of want this area to be the carved out space. So thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Means a lot to me. All right, so we got there, right there. That one right there. Need to like cram a couple of them in there. Those are the giant red cedars. Already kind of did that. Ponderosa. Oh, Bleary context. Or maple? Sugar maple? Oh, we can do sugar maples. Ooh, sugar maples would be really pretty around in here. Ooh, I like that. Like, kind of in this campground area. Oh, I like that idea. Yeah, we're definitely going to put some sugar maples. Oh, sugar, we're going to put some maples here. You know what I should do? I should get those paths going before I accidentally screw up and make it so I can't finish my paths. Hold on a second. Let's get that taken care of here. Do that one right there. Path like that. Gotta get all of these places all pathed up here. Boom. Boom. Go like boom. Yeah, we can just do that for all of these guys. Kind of hoping that we could like see, this is where what I mean, where it gets kind of weird about the paving. It's kind of a pain to figure it out. But honestly, I'm just gonna take it however it is. It's like it's all meant to be dirt paths anyway, so it's actually kind of adds to the effect if it's all kind of a little Willy Wonka and going everywhere on us here. Sure, why not? Whatever, we can put like a tree right there. That's the other thing too, is if the paths get weird, we can disguise it by putting in some trees and stuff. Actually, you know what? Let me delete that path. Let's try that one again here. I think if I actually kind of bring it in there, this will help us. I was hoping it would help us make that one a little less weird. Hold on a second. That go away. Do it that way, maybe? Come on now. Come on now. There we go. There we go. There it is. That's what I was looking for. Haha. Alright, so that seems to be the trick. Just have them, like, bend into each other here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there it is. I'm figuring it out. I'm learning. I'm learning. It's a slow process, but hey, we get there. That one there. Again, have it kind of bend in. And then bend out like that. There we go, just like that. That's how I want them. I'll go back and fix some of those other ones too now that I've ironed out that process. There we go, that one was easy. Bet this one will be pretty easy as well. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. See, that looks nice. That looks real nice. Oh, we gotta close out. We gotta have this one loop around. I like the idea of, I actually kind of like the idea of it looping like that. I think that looks good. Because we can put like a little tree right there. Okay, let's fix these guys up a little bit here. Make that go away, make that go away. Alright, so let's see. I think it's going to be easiest actually to try and do it that, because then we can connect that one there. Got that one. Great. Now these guys. Look at that. Just naturally figured that one out. Great. Okay, that's satisfying. That's satisfying. I'm content with that. Now we know our spaces here, so we can kind of fill in with some other smaller trees. I kind of want these trees to be a bit on the smaller side of things. Although, you know what would be nice? We'll do it in the picnic area. Would be kind of nice to take some of these big, massive honkers here and do like one or two, and so we can kind of do like, those are like the design centerpieces for our little picnic area stuff. So we'll get back to that. But I wanna first off go back to our sugar maples. I like these guys. These guys are pretty. Alright, so we're gonna plop a couple of these guys down. Wanna have it all be too samey here, but we can plop a couple of these guys in a few different places. This. Great. Let's put this guy like right here. That guy right there. Got a couple over there. We'll go ahead and maybe put a couple of these guys around along with this walk, because they're so pretty. They're such pretty trees, they are. Them sugar maples. Alright, so that's perfect like that. A couple of these guys can go around like in some of these spaces too, I think. A little big. Do they have a smaller one? Cedar tooth. Yeah, there we go. A little bit smaller. Then we can take like this guy right here and put that one right there, or something like that. There. Maybe put like this guy right there. There. Yes, this is just gonna look so pretty. This is gonna be such a nice area. Like, I just want everything to just look and feel like such a nature experience. Is what I'm going for. Like, that sounds so bougie to say it that way, but it's like, it's true. It's what I'm going for. It's what I'm going for. I want this whole thing to just feel like an experience for the people visiting my zoo. Okay, yeah, we just did yellow cedars. Ooh, see, like, this would be such a cool, if we flatten this area out and put like that right there and there, like put one big tree right there, one big tree right there, one big one and one big one, and just use those as like center points to do like circular, like path loops that go around to serve as a picnic area. Ooh, I like that idea. Oh, it's gonna be so nice. We'll save the Wimbas for someplace else. Tamarind. I like the tamarind trees, actually. I really like these. Yeah, I'm gonna plop these guys down in a few places here. So we put like one of them right there. Put one of them right there. Put a couple more trees in these areas too. Here, put one right there. Because my goal is also to have all of this area be as shaded as possible at like all times of the day. I want the area to be nice and shaded. I want this to feel like you're walking through a forest and seeing animals in the forest is what I want, you know, because the interior of the exhibit will feel like whatever their actual like natural habitat are. So it's like, you know, like the bison spend less time in a forest, true, but like if we design it right to look, if we design the interior, like if this was going to be theirs, right, because we got a nice flat open space there, and if we just design this to look like their exhibit, then inside it'll be fine. It's almost like the forest has windows to other magical worlds. Wow. Alright, so that looks good. This area will need to be filled out a little bit, but I'm going to think about exactly how I want to do that, because I do want this to be overlooking and seeing into things. So that all looks pretty good. I actually like the way that looks. Really liking the way that looks. I think the only thing that I want to do is, you know, take some of these guys, some smaller trees, and fill in this area a little bit. So we have like, even though they're really close there, I kind of want a bit of a tree screen going on there. Tamarind, sycamores would be good. Yeah, we can just kind of like plop some of these a little strategically like that, right? And that'll like kind of fill in. We can like fill in a bit more. Okay, that looks okay. More sycamore there, and then we have even smaller rainbow. Oh, we've already done eucalyptus. Yeah, we can put a couple of these guys in, right? Well, those guys like that. There. We gotta fill in this area a little bit here. Get back to that area a little bit more soon enough. These guys, unfortunately, don't offer a whole lot of screening. But it's like if we couple, yeah, if we put a couple of those like right there, in amongst everything else, that'll kind of help a bit. We can also put in some bushes, right? So we can get rid of trees. Let's go filters. Let's go ahead and do foliage type. Aquatic plants, flowers, bushes. That's what we're looking for right there. So we can do some bushes that go along here. We can just find some natural looking ones. Yeah, so like we can just kind of put some of these guys in and around in here, kind of fill in along here. In fact, I'm just gonna use these guys pretty exclusively here. And I don't want that, so it's like it's gonna be more manicured in and among the actual areas, but like I really like actually the way this is kind of filling in and helping that look a little bit more natural, a little less, you know, manufactured. We just kind of plop these guys in and around here. Just like fill that space in. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Look at that. Oh, look at, there's already a people. Dude, like suddenly everything is going to explode into being like full of foliage, and you're going to feel so happy that you're here. Yeah, and I'm actually okay with this spilling over into the highway. I think that looks kind of nice. Like again, it kind of adds to that whole wooded feel of everything. Oops. Oh, shoot. Oh, I did it now. Hold on. Hold up. Oh, you come here. Let's get you gone. Alright, so yeah, we can just, like, fill this all in here. Because, yeah, that really, like, I mean, that has a nice effect of really making this feel like a forest floor, too. I like this. Ooh, I like this. I like this game. This is a fun game. And we'll have... Dang it, I did it again. Oops, I did it again. I played with your shrub. Got lost in the placement. Oops, you think I'm a shrub. Oops, shrub thinks it's a tree. Okay, I'm done. Alright. Good. See, yeah, I like that. I think that looks good. Although, now I'm second guessing if I like... I don't know that I actually do like it. overhanging. So I'm going to actually try and find some smaller ones to go along this part of the pathway because of how close these buildings get here. I'm going to see if they have smaller ones that makes it a bit easier to have it not be too invasive onto wood bush. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. Something a bit smaller, a bit more under control. Yeah, so we can kind of do this. And if we like kind of topple it all on top of it itself, right, that helps it not look too repetitive. Yeah, like that doesn't really look like it's, because I always worry if I'm using the same instance of something too much that it starts looking a little too obvious that I'm doing that. But I think this is looking just fine here, because when you kind of overlap them and fill them in, it kind of adds a certain degree of differentiation, and that looks much better. I actually do like that a lot better. It's okay if it spills over a little bit. So I need to grab this bad boy. Yeah, let's change some of these too. Those ones are doing okay. Little approaching a little bit. The rest of those look okay. All right, so now let's go back to our bushes here. Actually, was it? Yeah, it looks good. It's a good amount of full. Yeah, that one's floating a little bit. I'm gonna adjust that one. Pop down our little arrow weed going around here. Then we can. It wasn't X, it was. Oh shoot, where'd it go? Oh man, my contacts are getting super bleary at this point. This is bad news because I'm still gonna have to wear them when I go to the gym after streaming here today. Bad news, I'm gonna be in trouble. It's fine, I'll figure it out. I just like pull them out and wet them a little bit before heading out for all that. But it's not even time for me to worry about that yet. And we still got a lot of time to worry about that. We're just sitting here playing. Yeah, playing games. Actually, you know what? I have an idea. I kind of have to. Okay, so here's what's gonna happen. I have to run to the bathroom, so I'm gonna run to the bathroom really quickly, and I'm just gonna pop my contacts out, and when I come back, I'll have glasses on, and it'll look weird. But yeah, just sit tight. I'll be back. Like I say, I have to go to the bathroom anyway, and that's not something that I'm doing on screen. No way. You guys don't get to come with me. So sit tight. I'll leave you here with the music and with the zoo. I will be back very shortly. I promise. Thank you for waiting. I appreciate your patience. All right, I'm back. Oh my goodness. Timely wheat. Timely wheat. Thank you for the follow. Untimely lack of presence for me. Thank you for the follow. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm back. Everything is feeling a little warped here. I just switched out my contacts because they were getting way too dry. Really just need to like put in new contacts. Now everything feels like the glasses, the perspective that the glasses do, they like warp things a little differently than what the contacts do. So everything's like, whoa, how far away am I? Whoa. We're good. We're good. Everything is like sharp, and I don't have to like say here, like, what am I looking at? No, everything is. The good news about the glasses is real, a lot easier to see without having to squint. Let's see. I'm gonna fill in this area a little bit more here. Oops, camera. One problem with getting as obsessed with putting all these big trees and making a forest as I have been is it eventually all the trees start getting in the way and makes it really hard to get a proper view of things. Okay, so with that, the shrubs going there. Yeah, I think that'll look a bit better if I do that. Perfect. Okay, I do want to get like 1 or 2 more trees or something going on just to try and help make a little bit of a screen for the back of these plants. Like, okay, wait, hold on. Plain, what tree is this? And sycamore maple too. Okay, sycamore maple. Let's go ahead and grab that. Grab some more of those. Get rid of the bushes. Foliage type. Let's get ourselves some more. Sycamore. Work too. Yeah, look at that. The beach will be perfect actually. Beach sapling. No, sapling's a little too. Put a couple beach here and there. We just do those scattered around. That'll add a little bit more variety to the trees that we already have in there. I have to scatter them in a few other places. Not too jarring to just like, and suddenly all of the beech trees in the world are there. But this is good. Yeah, these look nice. Those will help. Those will help with our little bit of screening from walking path there. Perfect. Okay, yep. I'm happy with that. Got a few more beaches around here. Son of a beach. Funny joke. No one's made that joke before. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. I'm the first one. Pop a couple of these guys down and actually fill in the few remaining gaps in this area here to make our little campground food court look nice and campgroundy, I guess. Campgrounded in reality. I'm just full of it. Full of it. Crack myself up. Look at that. Look at that. That looks like a really nice little campground little area in there. And we will fill out this area a bit more. But I got to manipulate the land a little bit there because I do, like I say, I want to make this like a kind of like a carved out campground area is what I'm going for here. So let's, because again, like we can do like big tree screen up here, right? That can kind of shade the area, but then we'll have like a sharper drop off. I'm gonna go to my terrain tool here. Now, okay, here's one thing that I'm gonna do though. I'm going to save the zoo here. Yeah, this is Animal Land. Save it. Yeah, I want to overwrite it. This is great. Everything's great. We're gonna save that. I struggle a lot with the land manipulation tools and doing that right and not destroying everything. So we're just making a save state. So if I royally screw it up, then we've got a place that we can devolve or default back to if we need to. So that's gonna be great. Pretty sure this Flatten the Foundation is what I'm gonna really want to do. Kind of carve this area out. Yeah, that's what we're looking for here. Flatten that area. Yeah, because it's gonna look like it's gonna be very much a very sharp cliff area here. But that's kind of what I want actually. That's the look that I'm going for here. Unfortunately, it's just kind of being a little weird about it, but that's okay. We'll get there. I think if we kind of go like this here, actually, yeah, this is going to be a good view for it. Now we can kind of carve our areas out here. I just want to be like so careful with it. I want to make sure I don't damage my path as it exists here. I actually kind of like that it's making a little cave type thing going on there. Yeah, I actually kind of dig that. I think that's kind of cool. Kind of keep on carving this area out, and we're gonna do the same thing over on the other side. And we'll smooth out some of the, we'll just see if we can't smooth out. Look, it's like a finger. It's like it's pointing. Like, fix that area. Right. Kind of carve that out a little bit there. Yeah, I kind of do a little bit here. Yeah, I actually really like the idea of it. Like, I want it to be a little less like jagged in some of these areas. Oops. Oh, oops. Oh, I see what I did wrong there. That's on me. Hold on. We can fix this. We can fix it. Yeah, there we go. Like, that's gonna be the tricky part though, because it's like, now we've got things. Okay, yeah. See, now we got things getting a little wonky, and this is what I was talking about. How, like, sometimes I'll mess things up. So it's okay. We can, like, kind of just do that. Like, that kind of roughens it up a little bit. That actually looks okay. I want to now. Let me see here. Smooth. Yeah. See, this is the one thing that's getting kind of weird with it. We like smooth this area a little bit here. We just kind of smooth this and make it almost look like a bear den type carve out area, and I actually think that looks okay. I think we can work with that. We'll just like smooth all these areas out a little bit here. Make this all look a bit better. And then I want to this all out a little bit as well. Yeah, so if we just kind of go like this. There we go. There we go. Okay, yeah. I like that. Okay, I think that looks okay. I do... Okay, I might regret trying to do this. This is where things will start getting a little wonky here. But I kind of want to expand this area out a little bit more. All right, yeah, there we go. Okay, I wanted that area just a little bit more expanded, and let's smooth all of that out a little bit here. Because that way we can, like, plop a couple trees, and it's like, realistically, would the ground look like that and grow like that? No, absolutely not. But the game will allow it, and we can just kind of let it be a little weird and a little manufactured, but it'll look pretty cool, I think. Because now we can take, like, just a proof of concept it here. Let's take... Yeah, because we can, like, put some trees here. That'll kind of create a screen, and we can just put smaller trees. Right? Plop some of these guys here. I'll change that up and make it a bit more varied. But if we do that, right, because then that will kind of feel like penning in, and it'll feel like forest along with everything else, and we can kind of just do, like, a network of, like, pathways with benches here to kind of make a little picnic area is what I want to go for. So we can take our... Let's go to our path tool here. And let's grab this here, right? Because I want kind of, yeah, exactly. Oh man, this is gonna work out perfect. It's gonna be exactly what I was going for. This camera a little bit here. There we go. That's there we go. So we kind of do that, and then maybe even. Let's see out so we can kind of get roughly half here. Kind of bisect this area like that. And then we can, like, further bisect. I think, oh, how do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? Like, I want... Well, let's... Okay, never mind. Let's... Give me the path tool. There we go. There we go. That's what I want to do. Okay, so because what I want to do now is let's go ahead and go to our foliage. Go to our foliage, I think. Yeah, let's go to our nature here. Hello, Madam Butterfly. How's it going? Glad to see you here. Let's see here. Let's go. Let's get our nature. And I want to find a nice, big ol' hunkin' trees to kind of like put in this as centerpieces here, for like our picnic area. And then we can intersperse with a couple other things here. Like if we put this guy right there, right, nice big tall centerpiece trees for this little picnic area of our zoo. But I want to do like a variety of them. We can do like a giant red seat right there. Boom, there we go. Big ol' honkers going on right there. Look at them big old trees. Extra big trees, yeah. And then I want to carve out this hill, same as we did that other side, to like double our campground area. So let's go ahead and get that going. We got to go to our train tool, flatten the foundation. Yeah. There we go, because now we can carve out area here. What we can do is we can kind of carve out space that we want to do this with, and then finish flattening it all out here. I think is what we'll do. Good. Get there. It'll take a little bit of work to get it looking how we want it, but get there no problemo, I think. That area out a bit more. Flatten. Yeah, see, it like the flatten tool, it's weird the way it works because it's like always exactly where you point it is where it centers on. So like it carves out like hollows. It's really weird. It's really weird. It's like it feels like the tool wasn't necessarily fully realized when they implemented it. But hey, you know, we'll make it work. Make it work and it'll look cool. It'll look really cool once it's done, and that is the important part right there. That out a little bit more. That out a little bit more. Okay. That little floating piece of earth out of there. Okay, so if we do that, that out a bit more right there. Yeah, so there's our picnic area. So now what we can do is we can just take our smooth tool here. We can kind of run that along here. And that'll kind of help this look a little less jagged. It'll look just kind of like a carved out rock wall or something there. And that'll kind of be the effect that we're ultimately going for. I feel like this is just so goofy though. Hold on a second. Let me try doing flatten the foundation. Can we? No, we can't do that. Can we just flatten the surface? There we go. Yeah, we can kind of do that. There we go. If we do that, and then if we get our smooth tool going on here, that'll get what we're looking for. That does it. That did it. Okay, cool. Do we have an errant? There we go. I saw that little artifact there, and I was like, do we have an errant blade of grass or something going on there? We did. Sure enough. But yeah, let's smooth all of this area out here. I might have to extend that lip back out a little bit. We'll get there in a second. First, I want to get the smoothing all taken care of. Get that all looking nice and pretty. Yeah, we're definitely going to need to pull that out a little bit so we can get ourselves some trees going on there. All this area out first. Yeah, actually, this is looking really nice. This is looking really nice. Then we got our little walkway that goes up. That'll be where the exhibit is right there. Okay, let's just smooth all this stuff out a little bit more here. It's super imperative that we do that part, but I want it to all look good, man. I want it to all look nice and pretty. All right, let's get our paths. I want again, so we're gonna extend our little picnic thing going on here. Hey, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Glad you're having a good time. Let's see here. Let's get path. Yep, that path goes around there. That's perfect. Right. Yeah, we just path that kind of there. Tighter along the cliff edge we can get, the better. Yeah, there we go. That's, oh man, the pathway. This is like the smoothest pathway work I've ever had in this game. This is amazing. And then let's grab just our midway point for our picnic ground here. There we go. So this is like a little picnic ground. Look at that. Look at that. That's going to be a nice little picnic area with like a food court, outdoor food court, little picnic area going there. Ah, 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 it's perfect. It's perfect. Yeah, that's great. I do, hold on. I do want to take our terrain tool. I want to do flatten the foundation here. We want to just like take this out a little bit further, just so there's enough room for us to like feasibly put some trees up there, because I want to have like smaller trees up here that can kind of simulate. It'll sit like, the idea is to simulate the effect that they're, when you're down in this campground, you're in the middle of a forest. So if we put a tree screen right here, just with smaller trees, right, then it's not like we're gonna have massive trees that go over and the trunks that don't actually cover much, you know, don't offer much foliage at the matching heights of the rest of the trees. So we put smaller trees up along here that will then add like that tree cover, and then we put some big trees with maybe some different like rock settings and stuff, and just do benches all around here for like a picnic area. And I think that's gonna look it's just gonna look lovely. It's gonna look downright lovely. So let's smooth this area out a little bit here. That's perfect. That's perfect, just like that. Now we can go back to our trees, back to our nature. We did, okay, so we can still do, oh, black spruces are a little smaller than what I'm looking for. Broken white birch tree. Oh no, that's so sad. I don't want a broken one. Douglas fir is a little, not quite as big as I'm looking for here. Elm tree would work. Did we already do the elm though? We already did the elm. Festive spruce is not what we're looking for. Giant red cedar, isn't that what? Yeah, we already got a giant red cedar. Holly. Rainbow eucalyptus will be a good big tree for like a centerpiece in our little campground area, little picnic area. And then yellow cedar tree might be good. It's a little smaller than what. Maples are a little small. Sycamore. Tamarind, not quite. Well, tamarind might be okay. Eucalyptus. Ponderosa pine. Oh yeah, we could have just like a nice big ponderosa. Not a bad idea. Oh wait, we already did. I keep doing the giant red cedar. I already did that one. It's gotta be different. It's gotta be different. Like we're trying to showcase all of the like super big boy trees that you find in like North America. But I'm determined, man. I'm determined. There we go. We can do just like a nice big beach. Son of a beach. Boom. There we go. Perfect. Okay, there we go. So there's our little showcases of trees there. The big boys for our campground area. Let's go ahead and find ourselves some smaller trees to kind of like fill in these areas. Just like, yeah, some of these like ash trees and stuff like that. Those kind of along these areas here, like I say, to sort of fill in. Got like a handful of different ones. Right, if we do those, we can get some. Oh, let's find our sugar maples again. Sugar maples would be good. Elm tree. Yeah, elm trees are a little big. We can get some of these smaller elms. Right there, just like kind of, like I said, we're just kind of trying to create a bit of a tree screen here. So that way from down below, like when you're down here, right? Presuming someone's down here, even though they're like, you know, in a part of the area that is just like right up there is the zoo, right? If they're looking up, oh, the camera's gonna get wonky with the angles, right? But it's like you get the idea. You can kind of get the picture here. You know, you're walking along down here, and you look up and you see more tall trees is the idea. Because I want it to still kind of feel like a shaded forest, at least to a certain degree. Even if you're kind of down below in there. But I think that's going to be great. I think that'll be just great like that. And then this area was, again, going to be mostly like shrubs and wild flowers and stuff. Because my idea is that from any of these paths, you could like look down the hill and kind of see what's going on in this exhibit too. So this will be more of just like a wildflower hills type of North American like wildlife stuff. So I think that'll be lovely. Pop one of those guys down right there. Where's my sugar maples? Oh, a quaking aspen. couple quaking aspects. I kind of want these guys a bit more present in general. I guess we already do have a couple. Like over here, we can plop these guys in this area that's still going to be foresty. Well, those guys are that. Yeah, we can kind of have the forest itself taper off, right, and get a bit thinner. Turn into more bushes and more flowers and wildflowers and like wheatgrass and stuff like that. That'll be pretty. It's going to be so pretty when it's done. Soap tree. No, that's not this way. Oh, where's our sugar maples? There's our sugar maples. There you are, sugar. Like, put those guys there. There. And right there. There. Right there. Perfect. And then we got kind of a bit of a screen, too, when you're walking along here. I mean, you can kind of peek down to the campground. Quote-unquote campground. It's not actually a campground, but you know what I mean. You smell what I'm stepping in. I'm going to put one more right there. I think that looks like a good spot for one more. So we got like our little screen right there. And then this one, again, I want to leave this open. Like, I want to leave this hill open so you can look down into this exhibit. So we might put some, like, we could put some trees, like, right here. Kind of going right along this pathway. But then I kind of want to leave the rest of it open. So, like, especially from right here, you can peer down into there is the idea. In this area, we can kind of get a bit more... have a bit more fun with the trees. I kind of want to do the type of system where there's like trees scattered around. It's more of like a grasslands type of setting is what I want to do there. I guess really that's kind of what I want to do here. Just we can go back to interspersing a few trees and stuff around there for more of a grassland area. So we might have to change the terrain a bit there to go from this like just like standard grass that you mow the lawn for to more of, like I say, like the wheat grass type of stuff. But for now I want to finish our picnic area because we still got a lot of work to do over here. I want to go ahead and grab, let's get rid of the trees there. Because I do kind of want to put some like shrubs there. And I want to put some like rock outcroppings and stuff. I want to do some rock and shrub type of stuff in here for this area here. I like the mossy rocks. Dynamic mossy rock. It's dynamic. It's not just a regular mossy rock. It's dynamic. Alright, I like the dynamic rocks. Red desert rock. Yeah, see, desert rock isn't going to be so much there. Snow rock. Randomly snow-covered rocks. Agar rock. Sounds like different types of rock and roll. Like, yeah, it's tundra rock. My favorite kind of rock. I like listening to tundra rock. That's what I usually go for. Yeah, let's do the dynamic mossy. Yeah, rather than like the desert rocks and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, we'll find some nice big ones. And some nice big ones to just kind of like plop around in here. And we'll, and then we can put a few like, what am I trying to say? Like shrubs and bushes and that type of stuff in and around here. Like we can kind of spin these a little bit so we can reuse a couple of them. Like the big ones. Yeah, like I think having some of these big whopping rocks like, you know, splashed around will look good with this sort of cave cliffside type of environment we're going for all of this stuff. Right, that'll kind of fit if we just do set up some good looking rock outcroppings and stuff, because like kind of once we get like the centerpiece rock for any of these, right, whatever one is going to be the one, like that's pretty big boy. Go ahead and put this guy like right here, so we can then like take some smaller. Ooh, that's cool. That's really cool. I like putting that one like kind of going into that other one, right? Because we can do that, and we can just kind of build like a little decorative set piece stuff, right? And we can just kind of carefully construct these things to look kind of neat. Like it's almost like creating art of some sort. Except like if it were actual art, it'd be done by an artist who would actually make it good. Whereas I just kind of hope that things look like an acceptable mess. So, you know. I'll put this one right here. I want to rotate. That one like there. We can just do that, and then like in and around the other areas, we can do like little bits plant life and stuff too. Yeah, we can do that. And actually, you know what I want to do? Find. Where's one of them? Where's one of them biggie boys that I grabbed? Which one were you? You big, giant, beautiful rock, you? Oh, here we go. Kind of like connect these ones up, right? Do like that right there. Grab another flat. Rotate it just a bit. Something like that. And oh, that was the one. But yeah, we can like set this right here. Just kind of create these little, like, just these little rock things. Like, they don't need to necessarily look like anything. I just want them to be sort of there, and we'll fill in with a lot of the foliage, and that'll help things look a little more natural. Because like the seams, how the rocks are setting right now, the seams look kind of awkward. But I think once we add a bit of foliage, then that can end up looking pretty okay. So like you see there, they're kind of connected with each other, so that looks awkward. But if we put some bushes and stuff intermingling around, and if we take some smaller rocks, some smaller rocks. They're all bigger rocks. I need smaller rocks. That's kind of small. We can like put that right there. Little guy here. Put that guy right there, or something like that. And so then we just intersperse it with plants and stuff, and that'll kind of make a cool, kind of a neat little, like a set piece. I've been using that rock a lot. I should avoid getting too repetitive with all of these. That one right there, maybe. Let's try and take something smaller like that. Are they like floating? They kind of look like they're floating. It'll work out. Everything will work out in the end. Be fine. Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea to just have one of them that's kind of small and understated. That is not small and understated. Oh, I don't know. I guess I'll just leave that one like that, honestly. We can do that. Okay, so that looks okay. That looks okay. I like that. I like that. I like it. I enjoy it. So now let's go ahead and come over here. Now let's go grab some shrubs here. So let's go back up. Can go to the gardening too. Can do this, and we can set up like little garden patches and stuff. Right, like we can set up little bits of garden and stuff. And actually these will look actually pretty good, I think, interspersed among the rocks. Maybe the gardening is more to the point of what I was looking for, right? Because we can like scatter some of these around and kind of create like a wildflowers look in some of these areas, right? We can like, this is what I'm talking about, where we can just kind of like intersperse these guys in and around the rocks a bit, and that'll make some of these seams a bit more natural, so to speak. Oh, I said so to speak. That's not really an applicable or a phrase right there, but yeah, see, we just kind of do that, and so now that all looks like one big set piece together. Whoops, camera. Or just like that. Yeah. This. Yeah, fill that in there and like actually kind of have this expand out the base of our tree a little bit, incorporate the tree, tie it all in together a little bit. Out like over there a little bit, so it doesn't look like it's so much like a direct line tree. Whoops. There too. See, look at that. I think that looks really pretty. I think that'll work just fine. We can kind of do that. And so now we can like take the lady ferns and we can like have some lady fern around here. And we can just kind of have like all of it broken into like different set pieces and stuff. You know, and I think that'll look just absolutely excellent. I think it'll look great. Lobster claw is kind of interesting. I don't know that's exactly the vibe that I'm going for. I like the golden rod. I think goldenrod will be a good one to do somewhere, and maybe have this one be interspersed with goldenrod. Yeah, see, we can kind of there with the goldenrod on this one. Just kind of make all of them like almost like a natural art installation or something. You know, it's kind of the vibe I'm going for. Oh shoot. Grab you, get rid of you. God. Try that goldenrod placement again. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for, and then we can like kind of in here, and it's okay if it splices in with the rocks a little bit, because that'll just kind of help it all blend together. And it's like, you know, and that's the type of thing where it's like on close examination, you'd notice that and you'd be like, oh, that's not great. But like, for the sake of just, you know, doing it so at a glance it looks good, it's perfect. Right, and so we can kind of like fill that in like that, thicken it up a bit. And if we wanted to really get like kind of wacky and wild with it, mix up like a different goldenrod there. So it's like we do that one. So there's like a little installation over here. And now we go over here, choose like a different one. Oh, we already did those guys. Yeah, so like we can do these guys around in this one. So it's like rather than having manicured gardens, I guess is what I'm kind of trying to do is like a showcase of different flowers, and like each one is intended to be, you know, a specific type of flower and plant around these rocks, but it's kind of meant to look more like a pseudo wild forest appearance to it, right? So it's like you, and like the idea is like if I were really unlimited in like the ways I could handle all of this, I would want to like put up a lot of plaques that talk about the different plants that you can find around this rock. Like, what's this plant and why does it do what it's doing? You know, what about this plant? Why is it doing the way it's doing? Right? And so it's like you could kind of create these little educational things about it. But, you know, as it stands, we don't have the ability to do that explicitly. But we can see, like, we can tuck things there, just kind of make it look pretty. And so it's like, is it necessarily realistic? No, but neither is most of the things in this do. More about education than anything else. We can kind of do that there. And like tuck these guys like right, oh, perfect. So like it looks like they're kind of growing up in between there. Kind of right there. Right, going along there. Now this one again, we can have this one sort of incorporate the tree a little bit. Kind of do that. It just kind of creates this area, and then like, because then we'll have a lot of benches and stuff, because this is our picnic area. We can have benches that go all around there, and it's gonna look a little weird because all the benches are gonna face away. Because really, what I'd ideally want to do, is if it were easier to just do like a paved segment, I would have this whole area paved with just like a little area around that tree and small little garden areas like this. Like all of this would still be paved with just that area kind of not paved, and you would put like a picnic table there and a picnic table, you know, right there, and you would just have like tables dotted around. But that's not exactly feasible the way this game and its you know, decoration tools are set up. But we won't worry about that. We could do, oh, this would be a good place to do the ferns. Where are the ferns that I was originally of? Oh, not nettles. Goldenrod. Where the go with this? Yeah, the lady fern. Here we go. Because we can have like lady fern going all around here, because lady fern really spreads out. So even though there's less rock, it can still be nice and full. Like we grab, because yeah, it's like these lady ferns, like these ones, we just kind of scatter these guys around here, maybe going up to the tree a little bit there. Oops. Actually, you know what? That doesn't look terrible. Kind of accidentally looks okay. fill in right there. Accidentally, that worked out well. But yeah, you kind of have the ferns just kind of taking over this area. Right? And it's like maybe it's like trimmed back in some of the areas. But then it also is going in and around these rocks. We can kind of create this area looking pretty nice. Because that poor rock is kind of just getting a little overtaken by everything else. But I actually like that. I think that looks good. Right, just like a nice big fern area here. I think filling this a little bit more will look okay. And then you can like have it kind of break up and scatter, as ferns will sometimes. And then you can like add some kind of sell that it's all still one installation a little bit. We can do that, and that'll look good. And then we do, yeah, we did. I keep going back to those guys. They're just striking and pretty. Oh, we could do like little azaleas. Those are, I don't know. The azaleas are a little manufactured for my taste. I did Dutchman's breeches. Dwarf cornel again. Those again and again and again. Elephant ear again just kind of looks a little too hot plant for me usually. Labrador tea looks nice though. That. Just trying to like get a wildflower look to it, even if they're not necessarily wildflowers, right? Because we're just kind of trying to create a scene based on the tools that the game gives us, you know. So that's kind of how I'm viewing this. So it's like accuracy is, you know, obviously out the window in a lot of ways, given the nature of, I mean, really just given the nature of what we're constructing here. We're making a zoo. Like I say, there's only a certain amount of natural that a zoo is going to look. It's just the nature of what a zoo is. You know, it's like, I'm certainly not someone who gets up in arms about like, oh, you know, as long as a zoo is done well, like, because I've worked with animals and I've worked with zoos before. If it's done well, it can be a perfectly hospitable and habitable place for animals, and it can be a wonderful educational tool, as long as they're done right. But yeah, okay, all right, there we go. Looks good. That looks really good. So that's really what I was. Oh shoot, I don't like this though. This is really open. Let's do. I wonder if this would be a good one to just do. No, I don't really see this. Maybe we could do the lobster claw or the elephant ear ones. Where's that elephant ear? Oh, and let's just do. Here's what we're gonna do. Filters. Let's go back to plants, and then do our foliage type, and let's get ourselves some bushes going on here, and find ourselves just some like good sizable bushes that we can use to like fill in this area here. Those. Oh, perfect. Yes. That's perfect. Sage bush. Yeah, just do salt cedar and sage. Yeah, if we just do some salt cedar or some sage. I don't know. I like that salt cedar bush. I think that looks good. Man, you could almost just do like a couple of these on their own. Let's do like one big one surrounded by a couple smaller ones. Make it almost look like it's one big massive happy bush going on there. There, see, that looks like a really wacky, wild, unkempt bush on its own that way. And I think that's fun. I think that looks good. Love the detail. Love the level of detail. Like, look at that. I mean, obviously, you get in that close, you can start seeing that it's like 2D pixels and stuff like that. But it's, I don't know, like it's pretty. I like it. Okay, I'm pretty content with how that's all turning out there. I think that looks good. That'll be a nice little picnic area. Let's see here. How am I doing on time? Oh yeah, we got plenty of time. Let's go ahead and get our look at. Oh, they're all so unhappy, but it's because there's nothing. It's because there's nothing. Like, and we don't have anything done, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Because we see this beautiful area that we spent all this time on, when in reality, oh god, look at how much we still have to do. But that's awesome. I love how long term this project is going to get to be. I love big long projects like this. because I just love when you can really get all of the details and stuff down to really make this beautiful area. Look at all of these picnic tables. They do have picnic tables. Got African. Okay, hold on. Let's filter theme. Been doing New World as our sort of North American option here. Get out of that. So where would I put a pick? Question right there. Oh man, we can totally put like balconies over the benches. Yeah, because we can put the benches. This is what my idea is. Like, we'll just line this area with benches. Oh, is it really gonna give me a fit about benches in areas? It is. That's okay, we'll figure it out. So we can do those benches. I'm thinking those benches or these benches. I don't know, man. Hold on, we do classic. I guess classic might be more. Yeah, I guess classic's more to the point of what I was looking for here. Oh, there's like no places that I'm allowed to put a picnic bench here. There must be a way to do like a picnic ground or something, and I'm just not aware of. Guest facilities, is there like a picnic ground guest facility or something? How does that work? Like, why include it if I can't use it? Well, okay, let's just go ahead and stick with my original plan. It'll work just fine. Filter. What is the planet zoo? Tabled. That's the bench that I was thinking of. That's a campground bench right there. That's a campground bench if I've ever seen one. So yeah, we're gonna put the benches all just kind of lining along here. This is meant to be like a picnic area. I'm gonna go ahead and try and give plenty of space between each bench too, because I kind of like the thought is that, like, you know, any given bench would serve, you know, a specific, like a single family, right? And so they'll all want their space and everything. But we can do like this stuff here. We'll just have it go around on the interiors there for our, like, quote unquote campground, and we'll put like facilities and stuff, like trash bins and stuff. I mean, we can put one there. And yeah, actually, you know what? I do kind of want to line this area. So why isn't it uneven placement? Oh, because the land is too wonky. Okay. All right, well, that's fine. We'll just, rather than fussing and fighting with the land and the path tool, we'll just put benches where they can go, and we'll just let it be okay at that and call it good. So it'll limit how many we can do, but I'm okay with that. I'd rather do fewer and just have it look nice, you know? I'm like going around that little bend there. Oh, but we can put one right there. It's really fussy about like where it will and won't allow things. It's really fussy about that. Kind of funny, honestly. All right, there we go. So we got that one. We got to get... It'd be nice if we could put like one more right there. Now we got to get this side. There. 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 Going much easier. They did a much better job of smoothing this one out, apparently. There. There. Go right there. Uh-oh. There we go. We can sneak one in right there. Wherever it'll allow. We'll just take it. You know, it's like, we'll take it. Whatever concessions it gives us, we'll take it. Okay, perfect. Those. We're on this side of it too. There. 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 A little close, but that's okay. Yeah, we can, like, if we can stagger the benches here too, that would be, oh, that's just Serendipitous right there. Look at that. We can stagger them all. Oh my goodness gracious. I mean, how perfect. There we go. So there's like our picnic area there. And we can just put like trash bins around for people to use. And then I want to also, it's going to be a little unsightly, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to just like for functionality's sake, I want to put like ATMs like right at the beginning of each of these buildings here. Gonna be a little unsightly, but that's what we're gonna do, just for the sake of functionality. So I want to do. We're gonna need to put utilities there. I want to put. What am I looking for? What am I trying to find? First off, I guess we can get rid of that. There. Special effects. Props. Yes, this is where we're gonna go when we want to do. Oh, we probably want to put like a few lights and stuff scattered around. We can put some lampposts for our. I mean, lampposts in general around here along all of the pathways are probably going to be a good idea, but I kind of want to save that for last just because like it's going to take forever, and I also want to be able to strategically put them based on where I want them, and I might not like that might change. Although really, I don't know. I should probably just do it. But first and foremost, I guess I'm going back in here. Guest facilities. Here, there we go. Merchandise. Oh, no, I thought. Do entrance, toilets, information. Finance is what we're looking for. Do the ATMs here. I'm thinking if we just do like an ATM at the beginning of each little walkway towards shop. We won't try and put one. We won't put one in the bathroom. We won't imply that people need to pay to use the toilet. That would be a little twisted. Bathrooms for paying customers only. Yeah, if we just do this, that'll function well enough. Oh shoot, that's the bathroom. I did it. I did the thing. I did the thing I said I wasn't going to do. Dang it. Put that right there. Right there. Perfect. And so now we'll just grab this one. We'll just move this one over here. But yeah, we do need to power these things. Wow. Apparently that appeal is just not working for people, huh? Don't know what to do about that. Okay, so we do need to put some power. Okay, so let's that does make me think that we do need to get our power. So let's go to construction here. Is it construction or is it facilities? It's facilities, because we go to utilities. We're going like full solar is what I want to do for this lovely place of ours that we're building. I want to go full solar with it. And like the beautiful thing about it is like you can kind of just like do it wherever you want. Because it just like it works. It doesn't take into account whether there's like shade or anything. It just seems to like work. So I'm just going to like kind of tuck them in. But like make the bubble bigger or something. That's whatever. So if we want to charge, if we want to use these ones here. Yeah, because that's the one problem is it's like we gotta put them in places that they can be reached via a path. I'm gonna have to double check all these and make sure I'm not accidentally putting them on something important. Go, so we can do that. I think it won't let me put it on something important that's like otherwise used, but I'll double check that. I'm gonna tuck that one back there. So there we go. So now our campground is powered here. Yeah, see, look at that. That looks so goofy where that ended up getting placed. So I'm gonna like move that. Here, hold on. I want to move this. It just like, yeah, I don't think there's anything I can do. I think these are just going to be present. But if we like, oh, I kind of want it to actually like look like something. We do that, and then let's grab our path tool here. Let's. If we do that, I know guests will get snippy and uppity about, you know, about placement of these types of things. But grab the panel. There we go. Yeah, let's rotate. Put that right there. There we go. That works. That works just fine. I mean, it's not the prettiest, but yeah, see scenery rating, appeal of nature and construction items around this facility. People just don't appreciate a forest, I guess. Jeez. Awful hard to please these people are. See, that one's fine how it is, I think. And I think that, okay, so this one we need to add a pathway for it. Ooh, whoa. Hold on, we might need to rotate this one a little bit or move it. If we go, whoops. If we go like that, and then grab where's our pathway? Yeah, if we do that, that works. Acceptable. Great, okay, I'll shoot, but I need my ATM now. Dang it. Let's get rid of that here. This. Right there. There we go. Great. Okay, yeah, I'm not... Yeah, I mean, people are gonna get snippy about that, but I don't know what else to do about it, really. So, alright, no, I'm content with that. I'm content with that, I think that looks fine. Benches and stuff like that, that's all good. All good to go. I think I'm gonna just go ahead and throw in a couple other, like, trees and just kind of finish off the tree stuff here, because we're getting close to the end of my time here today. So I think we're just going to go ahead and finish like filling this area in and call that good. Let's get rid of the bushes. Let's go back to our trees. Foliage type. Raise. And I'm going to go ahead and do the responsible thing, which is make it appealing to me and not give a rip about what all of them snippy, hard to please guests are going to say about it. Meh, 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 meh. Who cares what they think? They're all dumb anyway. People are stupid. Oh yeah, we'll just pop a couple things in and around here. We'll fill this area in a little bit more. That one. Put those kind of like that there. Kind of want to leave these areas open. I kind of like that a little open, just as a little contrast. Like if we're going to put something else there, like small trees, right? Do like a small tree right there, maybe a small tree right there. Oh, and just do it that way, because like these areas I think look wonderfully shaded and full. It's these areas that are kind of struggling a little bit on that front, but that's okay. Do that. No, palm trees really fit the beach sapling, but we can do some these small. Yeah, see, like that side, I think that looks good, because then this will, again, go into our, like, wildflower field hill type area. Let's go ahead and... Yeah, oh, we've already put some beaches and stuff there. Son of a beach. I'm an ash tree? Yeah, there we go. Ashes there. There, maybe. One right there. There. Go. See, we're getting... Douglas firs kind of plopped around there. That's looking okay. Alright, giant red cedar. We already got a few of those plopped around. Put another one right there. And let's just kind of get a few more things kind of up in this area here. The trees. Now let's do like a tamarind or two. There we go. There, look at that. Look at that nice forested area there. Great. All right, I think that looks good. I think it looks good. I'm happy about that. I like that. I mean, from the bird's eye view, that change kind of going from that area to that area is pretty stark, pretty sharp. But I'm actually okay with that, because these are kind of meant to be like unique, specific, you know, like exhibits, so to speak. Like this is meant to be a specific, like that white birch walk, you know, where we've got stuff going on with animals, and then you can kind of come over here, and this is going to be more of just like a campground type of feel. So I think all of the areas that we have so far are serving it, you know, and this area was just really meant to be lots of tree screen around the keepers stuff to like kind of keep that out of view of guests, so they don't get too grouchy about that. And so I think that's good. I think that's really good. I'm really happy about that. Yeah, I'm happy with the progress we made today. All right, I'm gonna save this all before I lose everything, or I accidentally goof up and save it. So yeah, we'll save that. Absolutely, we'll overwrite Animal Land. Great. All right, cool. And with that, I'm looking at my time. That's kind of perfect timing. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off here. I'm going to, let's go ahead and bring us to just chatting here so I can do my sign off. Whoosh, there we go. So thank you so much to everyone who stopped by. I appreciate you guys stopping by. I had some fun discussing different ways to like design trees and stuff like that. I'm just, man, this game is such a fun, chill way to cruise into the weekend. I love it. I love it. Had a really good time with it. Let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and do my little spiel on all the different ways you can find me, primarily for the VOD there. But if you want the Cliff Notes version, you can find all the different places to find me in either the About tab of my Twitch page, or you can find it all in the video description below if you're watching the VOD on YouTube. But for the more detailed descriptions of everything, I have a Discord server. It's a really fun place. A lot of people will go and chat about D&D stuff, but I mean, I'm always loving to chat about video games and all kinds of other things, whatever creative things people come up with. So if you want to stay connected, you can do that. I also make sure to put a lot of announcements about when I'm going live, if I have to change my streaming schedule. Discord's a really good one-stop shop for all that kind of stuff. So if you want to stay connected, that's a great place to do it. I also have Twitter at EnviroStreams. You can follow me there. I post notifications and stuff when I go live, and if there are going to be changes to the schedule. And then I'll also occasionally just like share random stupid thoughts that I have, as people do on Twitter. So if that's something that if that does it for you, then follow me on Twitter. I also have my Instagram, EnviroBoy Streams on Instagram. I spend a lot of time, I use that. I've been actually having fun with Instagram, using that to share little clips of like other things that I do that are like fun and important to me, but don't end up on stream. Things like my kickboxing, things like rock climbing and stuff like that, which I'm actually going to do both of those tonight. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. Hopefully I'll remember to get a few clips and a few videos of what I get up to tonight, so you guys can check that out. But yeah, so you can follow me on Instagram, EnviroBoy Streams. And then I also have my YouTube. Some of you may even be watching this on YouTube. I got my YouTube channel, EnviroBoy. I put all my VODs up there. And one of these days, I swear I'm going to do it. One of these days, I'm going to learn how to video edit, and we'll try and do like some compilation videos or some Let's Plays or things like that, just to experiment, because it's all I'm doing here. I'm just having fun experimenting. No idea what I'm doing. I'm no professional. I'm just having fun with all this stuff, learning how to do new things and enjoying it. So there's all those. The only other link you'll see in there is a donation link there. If you would like to donate, you are always welcome to, and it's always like so appreciated. That said, if you want to support, like if you like what I'm doing and you want to support me, just stop by and watch. If you see I'm going live, stop by and watch for a little bit. Just say hi. Let me know that it's still fun having me on here doing stuff. Tell a friend, like, subscribe, follow, all that kind of stuff. Just doing all that stuff, the real easy stuff. That's really helpful and really meaningful to me. So, if you really want to support me, do that. But you can also donate, and I will make good use of it. Like how I purchased recently a new microphone. Like that was in large part thanks to donations from people. So, I'll make sure donations go towards making the stream even better. But really, if you just want to make me feel good, then just, stop by and say hi. That's what makes you feel good. All right, that's all my stuff. The only other thing is it's Friday. This is the last stream of the week for me. Next week, I believe I'll be able to stream my full schedule. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time Zone. That's when I do my writing streams. We write D&D stuff, talk about D&D stuff, all kinds of D&D. It's good stuff. And then at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time, that's when I switch over and do some sort of gaming, play a variety of gaming stuff. Provided different games throughout the week, so come check it out and see what I get up to. I have a lot of fun with all of it. But that's everything. That's everything in my world. That's everything I got. I just, again, I can't thank people enough. I have so much fun doing these streams. Really fun doing these streams. Really fun chatting with people about the games that I love playing. And it's just, I don't know. I have a blast doing it. This is the reason that I keep coming back and doing it 4 times a week. Like I put in a lot of hours, and I just have so much fun doing it because I get to do it, not that I have to do it. I'm not doing this to try and earn a paycheck. I'm doing this because I just love doing it. So, yeah, that's all I got. So thank you so much to everyone. Appreciate all of you. Everyone have a great, awesome, super fun, relaxing weekend. I know I've got a pretty good weekend lined up I'm looking forward to. And that's it. That's it. Take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you cats on the flip side. Yeah.